Hi everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Today I'm tying another nymph pattern, this one with lively legs. This is my version of the hot wired prints, except with lively legs. The standard pattern doesn't call for lively legs. I really like the look of this, and most of you guys know from my videos I like stoneflies, and this makes a great stonefly imitation. So that one is the one I'm going to tie in the video. Here's just another, just showing you a different color, tying it in just gold instead of alternating the colors. And you can even change the bead color, however you want to do it. Like I say all the time in my videos, tie to your liking. Don't tie to my videos. Half the time I make this stuff up, and whatever I know, patterns that I know work for me, and change it to my liking so it suits me and I have more confidence in it. So whatever you have confidence in is going to catch your fish. That's the most important key you need to remember. What I'm starting out with is a size 12, 1260 curved hook from Daiichi, and it's a nice longer hook. I want the longer hook for this to use the lively legs on. Cyclops bead in a 1/8 black. That's the size you want to use for like a size 10, 12, and 14. And I'm just going to use some brown thread, and we're going to start it on here and wrap it back to the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to hold it up in the air like this when I get back to where I want to put my biots on, and I'm going to make a ball and use the thread to hold the place to make that ball of thread to splay my biots out. So just make a nice ball of thread there, and then come back in front and we'll cut our tag end off. Now the next thing we're going to use is some brown goose biots to create the tail on this, and we're just going to put one on each side. Okay, and I usually put these on one at a time so I can control it a little bit better. And I want to tie the tail a tad bit long, but not real long, and because it's a longer fly with the size 12, the longer hook we're using, and we'll just match the other one up to it. And that's why I like to tie it on one at a time. It's just a little easier to match them up. And I'm just gonna run my thread back to that ball. You can see when it hits that ball, it splays them out really nice. It's a simple way to do biots. And then we're just going to cover this down. I'm just going to, instead of cutting them off, I'm just going to wrap them down on the hook, just because it actually helps create a little bit more body to the fly here. Being that it's a bigger fly, I need it to be a little bit thicker, and we're using wire, so I'm not building up the body with the wire. Well, not that much at least. Next thing we're going to use is some lead wire, just for a little extra weight, and I'm just going to put it at the front where I will be putting the lively legs on. And we'll just 0.015, just going to wrap it up there, get it in behind the bead, and pull it off. And then I'm going to come back with my thread, and I'm going to build up right here by the lead. And what I'm going to do is just keep building this up until I match the same thickness as the lead, and make a nice smooth tapered body from the tail up to that lead. And then I'm just going to go over the lead and wrap it into place. Get that all covered up there, make a nice body. Okay, now I'm going to tie 2 pieces of lead wire. I'm going to use size brassy chartreuse and brassy gold. And I'm going to cut these off about, I don't know, 5 inches long or so, 6 inches maybe. And I'm going to attach 2 pieces of wire, and we're going to put them on at the same time. Probably should have had these cut beforehand. It would have sped up my video time a little bit, but there we go. 2 pieces of wire, and we're going to wrap them on, and I wrap them on my side, just I can see it there, and just right behind where that lead is where I'm going to wrap it on. One pull out. Okay, and then we're just gonna wrap them back to the tail. Okay, then we're gonna put our lively legs on. For the lively legs on this, I'm using large, I can't see it there, large black ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the back leg off of it. As you see, lively legs are 3 legs, 3 sets of legs. I'm only going to use the front 2 to make it the size that I want for this fly. So we're just going to take and snip the backs off. And then this tag in the front, I'm going to snip that shorter and just leave enough on there like that, just enough to have the tie down with. Now I'm going to take that, and that's going to be my gauge of about, you see how much I left on there as a tag? That's going to be about how far I want it right behind the bead, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start it on the side, because when you start it on the side, it will actually wrap itself right up onto the top as you pull it down tight. And then kind of loosely wrap all this into place, and then once you get it where you want it loosely wrapped, then you can come back and start tightening it down so it stays where you want it. And then the tag on the back, I just keep pressing it down, and it'll smooth itself out, and just keep doing that until you get the whole body covered up, all the legs covered up there. Okay, and you got to figure 8 around the legs here some, so they don't spin around on you. And same thing there. Wrap it a little bit loose and tighten it as you go. That's the easiest way to make these work. And you can see how they lay right on the top. And that's pretty much it. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 strands of wire side by side, and we're going to wrap them up. Now I'm going to use my rotary vise, and I'm going to spin this up here and just keep wrapping it nice and keeping it tight, alternating. When you wrap it, it's going to alternate the chartreuse and the gold, and every now and then just keep an eye on it and press it in if you have to. If they start pulling away from each other, just take your fingernail there and press them tight together, just to make a nice looking fly. And we're just going to keep spinning this up. Alright, now I got this wrapped right up here behind the legs, and what we're going to do is we're just going to finish it right up behind the legs, and then I'm going to take it underneath here, and we're just going to wrap it down in between the 2 sets of legs. And this is how we're going to tie off our wire. And we're going to cover this up just a hair with some dubbing here in a second. But we're going to get that wrapped down nice and good, and then take one at a time, each one, and spin them off. And then clean that up and cover up your wire there. Okay, now we have to finish off the front of the fly, and we're just going to use some ice dubbing. And I'm going to use Ice Dub Golden Brown on this one. And like I said, play around, find what colors you like. Like I said, we have a lot of stoneflies in our area, so I like to stick with a golden yellow color, and that's why I actually chose the colors on this fly. But some guys, will use red and black. But whatever color you like, whatever moves you, whatever you like to fish, works good in your area. Try it. And then we're just going to put this on here pretty tight, get it nice and thin, because I don't want to make it a real thick body. I already have it built up with the wire and the lively legs and stuff, but I need to cover this up, and what we need to do is figure 8 around here, so we're sure that underneath we're covering up. Let me get this way. We're covering up and not leaving any gaps underneath. I want to make it a nice clean underneath here, and then we'll work our way up a little bit, and then we'll do the same thing on the front legs too. And I'll have to add a little bit more here. so I can get the front legs covered up. And it'll only take just a pinch on this one. Spread this out a little better to get it thinner, because it's going to taper down at the front. You want it to taper down naturally. And then once I get that, we're going to put on the wings, which are white goose biots, just like in the Prince Nymph pattern. You can see underneath there how it's nice and clean, and I got it all covered by figure eighting around those legs. So now I'm going to come in with 2 white goose biots, and we're just going to crisscross them. I want them just to go past the legs is the length I would like this to be. And then we'll just make a couple wraps, get it into place. Position them where I want. We'll tighten it down a little bit, then I'm going to trim these off. And then I'm just going to clean it up a little bit with just another 2 or 3 wraps of ice dub, just to make a nice clean wrap at the end here and cover up that little tag. And then we're just going to whip finish the head. Okay, and that's all that's to this Prince Nymph here. This is a fairly simple pattern and a real nice looking pattern with these lively legs. You know, lively legs, guys, they catch a lot of fish, and I've caught a lot of fish on the lively legs, and this is a great looking pattern. I'm sure it's going to catch me a lot. And like I said, I chose it because I have a lot of golden stones in my area, so that's why I chose this color pattern. But try whatever you like and give it a try. I'm sure you have fun, and it's fun to tie, not that hard either. So like always, all the stuff you see in the videos you can find at our website at holsingersflyshop.com, so go check us out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can comment on this video or shoot us an email at the shop. Contact us at holsingersflyshop.com. It'll get to me. And thanks for watching, everybody. Please keep watching. Please subscribe to my channel so you're constantly updated with our weekly videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'm Sean Holsinger.